Hello, I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going over where to get some of the best artifacts and weapons that the game has to offer. Right, so these items are given to you by the gods in Oblivion, so you're kind of doing quests for gods. It's really neat. And the weapons, some of them are artifacts that just do a specific thing, and some of them are weapons that'll be more powerful. Now, each one of these quests has a level requirement, the first starting from level 2, I think, all the way up to level 20. So the first shrine we're going to show you to one of the gods of Oblivion here is this god here. So on the map, you can see it's Azura's shrine, just north of Cyrodiil. I'm terrible at pronouncing these names, okay? So, and you can see the Imperial City here, so let's give you an idea of where it's at. Basically right above in between the N and the G, right above it on this text here. Alright, so when approaching the shrine, if you can get one of them to like you enough, this guy here will tell you exactly what you need to do. He'll tell you need to approach during dawn or dusk to talk to Lady Azura, and that if you bring glow dust with you, she might give you something. So there you go. He already tells you what to do just by investigating and talking, right? So now we just need to wait for dawn or dusk. Alright, and if you're wondering what time is dawn and dusk fall between 5 and 7 respectively. So PM for dusk and for dawn AM. So once it's about 5 AM, we should be able to talk to the statue here. Alright, it's after 5 AM. Let's talk to the statue. And there we go. And do we wish to offer glow dust to the altar of Azura? Alright, pretty simple. Yes. So we have glow dust on us. Right, so around the world, you'll find merchants that sell alchemy items. A lot of these will sell bone meal and things like ectoplasma and glow dust. So if you need any of these items, you don't want to collect it by going out and killing the creature, you can just come to one of these shops and buy it. So you're going to need some of these items for the quest that we're going to be going through, and we'll go over each one as we go. But as you see, I just bought some of them from this person. Arveline or something like that. This is the... Alright, so I'm in the Imperial City Market District. And where I just bought these things is from the Mystic Emporium. Alright, so you can buy them from anywhere that has them, though. I think there's a couple of other shops here that sell alchemy as well. Alright, so after offering glow dust, Azura will give you a quest. And then she wants you to go kill their followers in the gutted mine. So make the quest active, and then it'll tell you right where to go. Right, and just to show you on the map, here's the gutted mine. Here's Azura's shrine, so not too far away. Kind of have to go up and around and then back down because you're in the mountains. But yeah, and then once you go into then you just need to go in the shrine and clear it out, and then return to Azura's statue. Now you're going to be battling vampires while in here, so you need to keep that in mind. You could become a vampire, so you want to probably keep them at the distance if you can. If you're not a ranged fighter, you may just be careful. And you want to beware inside. There's going to be traps. I don't want to spoil too much for you. When doing this quest, if you do contract vampirism, or you just want to contract vampirism, or you want to know how to get rid of vampirism, let me know in the comments below, and we'll go ahead and make a video over that as well. Alright, so once you've cleared all the vampires, you can return to the shrine. Right, and when you complete the quest, you get Azura's Star. Right, and so essentially, once you have Azura's Star, what it is a reloadable soul gem. Right, for this one, we're going to be going to the Mad God Shrine and giving him some items and getting a quest from the Mad God. The Mad God is going to require a few things. It's like yarn, lettuce, and a lesser soul gem. If you're a member of the Mages Guild, it's pretty easy to get. And you can get it in the city before you travel to the Mad God Shrine. So I'll go ahead and show you. We're in Leowin. Alright, Leowin is far to the south. South of Breville. Let's see, the Imperial City. Alright, so all the way south and mostly east. Leowin's here, and you can get most of these items from here. Alright, just be careful if you're stealing and don't get caught. Right, so since I'm a member of the Mages Guild, I can just walk right into the Mages Guild here and pick up the should be able to pick up the items I need from in here. And this isn't even considered stealing because I'm part of the Mages Guild. It's like I could take this alchemy if I wanted. Okay, there's some yarn. Right in the Mages Guild basement, you can find lettuce. Alright, so if you can't find a lesser soul gem in the city, you can always talk to elves in the Mages Guild and buy them. this point in the game, you probably most likely would have had some by now, but just in case, you know, you need one all of a sudden, they'll sell you one with a soul and one without a soul. So you just pick those up. All right, then from here, we'll head to the west gate and go north. All right, so if you just run north, you can't really miss it. Here's the Mad God Shrine. Let's open up our map here to show you. As you can see, here it is, Share Growth Shrine, just north of Leowin, or just south of Breville, whichever direction you want to go from, right? It doesn't really matter. All right, and you have worshippers sitting out here as well. As you can see, a lot of them don't like to wear pants, so they are part of the pantsless gang, I guess. You know what that is, that's okay. It's part of our Valheim series anyway. Yeah, that's awesome though, these guys are all pantsless. Alright, is he pantsless too? Maybe, can't tell, maybe. No, those are pants, I guess not. That's too bad, that'd have been great. Anyway. And do we wish to leave offerings at the altar for Shinwith? Yes. So after you give him the yarn, lettuce, and lesser soul gem, he'll give you this quest. Basically, he just takes it out of your inventory as soon as they make the offering. And so now we got to go to the village to make their prophecies come true. And the village is just south of the shrine. So you'd go here and do the quest. Alright, so once in the village, we need to speak to the shaman. Alright, we'll talk to him about the Kashar prophecy. Alright, but we're going to skip over all of that in order to not spoil anything. So when you come through here, it'll be like the first time you've actually done it. And of course, if there's anything tricky, I'll show that to you. But for the most part, secret doors, things like that, I'm going to leave out of this video. And if you would prefer that I put 100% everything in the video, let me know in the comments below. So from future videos, I'll know. But I'm trying to do as spoil-free as possible. Alright, so there will be a point where if he doesn't trust you enough, he won't continue the conversation. You won't be able to do so. You need to make him like you. There's a couple of spells in the game to charm him and buff yourself as well. And then you can also use persuasion. Alright, so you can get your how much he likes you up pretty high. If you're already high level and you've got your spells already pretty high, you can just charm him and buff yourself. You don't need to bother with a persuasion skill. Yes. And even though he likes you, he'll still refuse to tell you the very last prophecy. So then he'll want to tell you about Border Watch. So go ahead and ask him about Border Watch. Who are they? Bandit, Bowman. Huh, oh, that's a bandit. Good afternoon. A bandit just wanders in town in the middle of this quest. Alright. Cool, I will gladly take these arrows and this bow. No problem. Glass. I like glass, so let's take the glass. Kind of silly you're wearing glass armor, but whatever. Oh, wow, that's worth, yeah, I'll take it. It's worth some money. Money, money, money. So one of the things the quest wants you to do is steal this cheese out of this display case. Make sure you're not seen. I do have a video showing how to unlock any case without the skeleton key. Any case, at any difficulty, no matter what your level is. So just use that trick here on this and you'll be right in, no problem. Alright, so once you've stolen the cheese, you need to come outside the inn. And there will be a cooking pot right here. And this is where you need to put the cheese, okay? And this will bring the rats into the town. So in order to tell you place the cheese in the cooking pot? Yes. Alright, we've placed it and the smell coming is astounding. But watch him. He's putting down rat poison. We need to go pick this rat poison up. Alright, so we made the first prophecy come true. Now we need to make the second prophecy come true. Remember, he said he had some sheep. So now we got to go find the sheep and give them the rat poison. Alright, so it's not a nice quest, okay, but yeah. So here's where we feed the sheep. So we need to activate it and put the rat poison in the trough. Okay, so now we're killing sheep for this quest. Again, not a nice quest, not necessarily the nicest thing to do. But yeah, this will bring on the second prophecy. Alright, we got a reward called a Wabbajack. Alright, he's like, go away before I kill you. So yeah, alright, let's head out. So that was a fun little quest. Definitely don't want to miss out on that one, right? Unless you're like super good or something, role-playing somebody super good. You don't want to do it, but it gave us something called a Wabbajack. And we're almost out of weight. Where's that Wabbajack? It's a staff. And it says Wabbajack on target. Alright, there's no explanation of what it does. Alright, so let's go show you what it does here. Does the Wabbajack not work on the wisp? Yeah, okay. So we just used the Wabbajack on the will-o-wisp and we made it worse! Look what it is now! Now it's a Daedra. Alright, so the Wabbajack doesn't seem to work on NPCs or guards in town. It also has a very like small number of uses. But let's try it on this mountain lion here. We just changed the mountain lion into a skeleton warrior. Alright, so much better. Wait, did we change it to 2 skeletons, or was there another one? And then, oh, 2 skeletons, nice. And then, of course, you can see it wore off. The mountain lion's the bane of my existence in Oblivion. These things would just destroy me in the original Oblivion, because I had nothing but alchemy. And, I only built up alchemy and to 100 and sneak to 100. All my other skills were low, hadn't built up at all. So then the mountain lions were everywhere, destroying me after I leveled up. So yeah. Alright, so the Wabbajack's just a fun little item, and we're gonna cast it on this deer here, see what happens. Don't move, deer. Boom. We just changed the deer into a sheep. So as you see, it has a fun little results. Unfortunately, it doesn't. This charges drain really fast. You have to constantly recharge this thing to use it. That's the downside to the Wabbajack, but it is a lot of fun to use. This god, we're going to be doing Verimina's. I don't know, maybe that's how you pronounce it or not. Anyway, shrine. Right, but this requires a few steps. So they're just south of Cyrodiil, or east of the Imperial City, right here on this edge of this lake. Yeah, so we need to do a few things first. So we need to have a level 25 in mysticism, I believe, so we can cast these spells. Soul Trap. Right, that's going to be important to be able to cast for this. We're also going to need a black soul gem. So if you haven't looted a black soul gem, we'll show you how to make one. Alright, so we need an empty grand soul gem, alright, to make the black soul gem with.
Where's Orthor?
You can generally go into a mage's guild and take one. Oftentimes they are, just laying around and they let you just grab them for free. Or you can buy one. Alright, so now we've got our mysticism high enough, we need to go find a way to make the grand soul gem that we have into a black soul gem. Alright, so, if you want to know, you can get the Soul Trap spell from pretty much any mage guild. Alright, so we need to go to Fort Isteris, just east of Skingrad, to make the Black Soul Gem. Now, there's several forts throughout the world that you can go to. I think there's maybe 4 of these shrines that I don't know of. There may be more, but basically you're looking for a very specific shrine and we'll have to access it at midnight. Right, so once you're at the fort, it's basically just right here, right outside the door. Pretty easy to find. It's an altar, right, with skulls on the flags. So if you find any of these in the world, it doesn't matter where, you can go. You can use those. You don't have to come to this one specifically. Right, we can open the altar, and then we can add in our soul gem. So grand soul gem, remember, no soul. So we just want to put 1 in. Right, and then we'll cast Soul Trap on it. Open it back up, and it should be a black soul gem, but you notice it didn't work. So the reasoning for that is it has to be done at a very specific time. The problem is you can only make black soul gems on a very specific day. Alright, so once every 8 days, a red light will come out of the sky and shine on the altar, and then you can make the black soul gem then. So if the red light's not here at midnight when you come to the altar, you'll need to wait till the next day and continue waiting till the next day until the light happens. Now, of course, Oblivion Remastered is made in Unreal Engine 5, so depending on your settings, you may not be able to see this red light, right? We have that issue in Arc where you can't see beacons and stuff depending on your settings. So make sure that every 24 hours of resting, you go ahead and cast Soul Trap on the altar. Right, and then see if you got if you get a black soul gem or not, just in case you can't see the red light, that beam that's going to be coming out of the sky. Alright, and there we go. We finally got the red beam. So as you can see, the red beam coming down. This is what you need to see. If that's shining down on the altar, right, you can go up to the altar. The altar doesn't really look any different, right, but we have a red beam shining down. Pop your grand soul gem in, and then cast Soul Trap. Right, we now have a black soul gem, and these can be used to trap the human souls. Right, so these are considered evil soul gems. But yeah, you need to make as many as you want while the light is there. You could also, if you don't want to build up your mysticism skill, you could cast from a scroll. Right, so then we're going to travel over to Verimina Shrine, right next to this lake here. right south of Cyrodiil. As a matter of fact, the the other place you could have just kind of walked over here and done the soul trap with the altar there. Okay, we talked to Vermina. Offer a black soul gem. All right, so this is a retrieval quest. We just got to go get a orb from a wizard. Should be easy, right? Yeah. Right, so just south of the shrine is a place called Archved's Tower. We're going to enter that, and we're going to take the orb from the wizard. Alright, so for this quest, you'll encounter a few different creatures throughout the game. And depending on your level, I'm sure these creatures change, so won't go over that too much. But one thing it does is the quest marker will tell you you're going the wrong way, you need to go outside. So you just make sure you just have to ignore the quest marker and keep going until you find the wizard. There's some interesting areas along in this quest, and it seems like you're entering maybe an Oblivion area, kind of. It's really cool. And there's some neat stuff to find, like Archved's Oasis and things like that. I don't want to show it on here because it'd be a spoiler, right? But it's really neat to go check out. It's not really much of anything other than looks, right? But it's kind of cool to think about, like, this is a magical wizard tower with all kinds of interdimensional pockets in it. So it's kind of, it's really neat to see, and kind of, you know, like, oh, if I was a wizard, that'd be kind of cool, right? So maybe give you some ideas for your next D&D campaign or something. All right, we got the Skull of Corruption. And now I'm encumbered. Oh, how heavy is the Skull of Corruption? All right, let's see. What is it? It's a weapon. Skull of Corruption weighs 10 pounds. It's worth 1,200 gold. It does corruption on target, 30 seconds. All right, so we get this neat little Skull of Corruption, and what does it do? We cast corruption on somebody. So, unfortunately, this makes anybody you cast this on hostile. But this would be really nice to use against a bandit or something you're fighting. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and show you on an NPC and commit a crime here.
What's going on?
Check it out. It creates a shadow image of them without that, and then they can use their skills and abilities. But it automatically makes them aggressive toward each other. So then they want to fight. Right, and the shadow version lost the fight there. Alright, for this next shrine, we're going to be going over and showing you about, you're going to need something to reduce your personality. Alcohol is a great way of doing it temporarily, and the Gilded Carafe here in the Imperial City has some alcohol that can do it. Pretty much, lots of shopkeepers all over Cyrodiil do, so whoever you want to use. You could even go make your own spell to do it, or you could even make alchemy potions to do it, depending on your alchemy level. Right, and for this god, we're going to have to reduce our personality stat to 20 or lower. Alright, and so this is Nimira, the god, and we need to, once we get to her shrine, once we're unlight enough, she will talk to us. Now, of course, you can always find out this information by talking to people that are at the shrine. They'll usually give you hints at what you need to do. Alright, and just to show you, our personality is 30, we need to get down to 20 or lower. Alright, so when you consume the cheap wine, and just to show you, that drained our personality to 20. But now if I drink another cheap wine, I drain my personality all the way down to 10. So you see how many cheap wines you need. Now, not every alcohol will drain your personality. So you got to make sure, like mead won't drain your personality. So you got to make sure it actually drains your personality. All right, so once your personality is drained to 20 or lower, then you can talk to Nimira. So, all right, so this quest is pretty simple. We're given a spell. Right, it'll be under your target spells. It's called Nimira Shroud. And we have to go cast this on some priests and let Nimira's followers kill the priest. So you may notice a shrine is just due east of Ruma, and it's just west of the Azura shrine. Right, but I believe you have to be level 5 for this quest. Right, so we got to get down here to this Oghma. Alright, and then once you completed the quest, you get the Ring of Nimira. Alright, so let's check out what this ring does for us. Alright, so the Ring of Nimira is worth 10,000 gold. Reflects damage on self and reflects spell on self. So basically, if somebody hits you, they should take a little bit of damage for attacking you. As you can see, 12 and 10% reflection there. So not amazing, but it's something. And if you don't care about reflecting damage on the enemies that are fighting you, you can always just sell it for the gold, right? For this next god, we're going to need some special alcohol. So if you one of the places you can get it is going to be in the Imperial City Merchants Quarters, right? So if you see like render staffs, the what is that? Guards discount spells. The Imperium is like over there. All right, if you head back this way, back toward the Imperial City Arena District, there is a shop called the Main Ingredient. They just go. It's hidden around a corner here, right away from the other shops, kind of on this little lonesome. Okay, and now that he likes me more, that I'm blind, I just didn't see it when I went through the list the first time. So I believe it's because he likes me more. Now he will sell me Cyrodiilic brandy. Yeah, Cyrodiil, however you say it. All right, and so this is Sanguine. You can see he likes the alcohol there. And oh, we got a fight going on here. I would join in, but I might hit one of them and make them mad, so let them deal. It's the wolf. Anyway, so this is the god we're talking about. Let me show you where it's at. If you go to Skingrad and head north, mostly north, a little west, you'll run right into it. It's not too far of a jog. Right, and then he wants the brandy. Alright, so the quest is to basically find a way to get an invite into a party, and then go into the party and cast a spell and try not to get caught doing it. It's not important if you get caught or not. If you do get caught casting this spell, you'll have to spend some time in jail or pay a fine. This one's actually quite a distance away. It's in Leowin, right, all the way far south. The good news is you can just fast travel right there. Right, so we'll go into the hall here and equip this spell. And let's go find out if we can get into the dinner party or not.
Any other reason?
What? So he's just gonna let me in, even though I don't have a, even though I don't have an invitation. So he thinks I'm dressed up for it. I'm just in armor, so I don't know. Anyway, so you should just be able to walk in. Then we need to cast this on the dinner party.
How goes it?
So here's the Countess. I don't want to spoil this for you, so I'm not going to show what's going to happen. Alright, so once you cast the spell on the dinner party, and you end up going to jail, you can come back and get your item from him. And I don't want to talk about much more than that, because there's just something... this quest is meant to do something to you. I don't want to tell you any more than that. You'll know when it happens. Okay, just go through the full quest before you freak out and revert to saves and turn it off or whatever, or get mad. So, yeah, that's all I can say. I don't want to spoil anything, and that may have been too much as is. Alright, so once you complete the quest, you get this Sanguine Rose staff you can wander around with. Right, it has charges, of course, and it runs out just like all the other magical items, but yeah, so we have the staff here. One problem with this quest that's unfortunate is I had a Ring of Vipers on me, which is considered a quest item. And it seems to be bugged out from having done this quest, so just a warning that can happen. I can't wear the Ring of Viper anymore. Can I equip this enchanted item right now is all I ever get when I try to put it on. I think the way the quest works, I think it bugged it out because it's not supposed to, because it couldn't take it out of my inventory because it's a quest item. So, yeah, so it bugged it out. So that could have very well happened if you have any rings or anything, or any gear that you wear that is a quest item. Just a heads up there. It's a unfortunate aspect of the game. Sometimes things break. Alright, so we'll show you what Sanguine Rose does with this person here, which I'm guessing is a bandit because they started attacking me. Alright, so if we cast Sanguine Rose, missed. Okay, so we have to hit them directly with it. Alright, and it will summon some kind of creature. Last time it summoned a Daedra, this time it summoned an ice elemental. I guess the guard's gonna fight the ice elemental and the bandit. But yeah, it's not on your team, it's not yours per se. It will attack you as well. Luckily, the soldier doesn't seem to care that I cast that it came from mine, so that's good. And another note is I believe you have to be level 8 to do this quest, if I haven't said that yet. So the quest for this god requires us to be level 10. This is probably one everybody knows about because it's that's for the lockpick that never breaks skeleton key. But you can be careful. There's an Oblivion gate nearby, even if you haven't done the first quest for the Oblivion gates, and so I'm not sure if you shut the Oblivion gates down, it might not be here, but it's the first one I've seen without having done the quest. But anyway, when you get here, we can talk to Nocturnal, right? And just to show you where here is, it's just what is this, Leowin? Just north of Leowin here. Follow the road, basically you run right into it. Alright, we just talked to Leowin. We don't need any items. But of course, it can't be that simple, right? You don't have all we know is we gotta go in the city and find an item from people that stole it, but we don't know who stole it and where to go to get the item. So the quest doesn't actually give us markers for this. Well, whether or not you can find someone in town to either tell you about them or not, I'll go ahead and show you where they're at. Just to make it easier for you, they're in the Wabbajack's house, which is across from the house for sale. Alright, you can't really zoom in or out for some reason here, but just give you kind of an idea of where they are. Alright, it's Wabbajack's house, or however you say that, but yeah. So even though it's night and everyone else has the doors locked, I can still go in here. So then we can ask about Eye of Nocturnal.
Never heard of it.
All right. And now that we've asked them about it, they're going to talk about it. All right. So now we've overheard them. And so we need to eavesdrop without being detected. So you're going to sneak. You could leave and come back in. All right. And now we know where it's at. Now the quest gets updated again. So now we can just go investigate that cave. Now you might be able to just run and investigate that cave before you've heard about it. But the quest isn't updating, so it may or may not complete correctly. So I'd make sure to at least come here and listen to them and get that quest like that updated. That way you're not risking the item breaking or the quest breaking or something. So right away, because here's the Tidewater Caves just south of Leowin. Alright, so you have the quest marker, so it should be pretty obvious where you're going, and then there'll be a place to swim down, just in case you didn't know. In case you looked down the hallway but didn't come this way thinking it was wrong, yeah, you can swim down. You can cast Buoyancy. You should have a spell if you join the Mages Guild, water breathing and stuff if you want. Right, there's a chest down here you can open and get some loot out of. But then the Eye of Nocturnal is kind of stashed right here. Just grab it. Alright, we found it. Now we can go back to the shrine. Right, and then we complete the quest and we get a skeleton key, which is an awesome artifact, right? It's never breaks, so you can pick every lock in the game with it and never worry about it breaking. So you can just spam lockpick, right? So the skeleton key, here it is. Right, next up is Pyrite Shrine, and this one I kind of don't recommend doing until you've leveled up your combat as much as you want, just because this is a really nice spot. As you can see, all the people here standing around here, they're conscious but not able to move or do anything. Right, you can just sit here and well on them, right, and build up your combat skills. Right, so at the Shrine of Pyrite, once you're level 10, you can activate it. Alright, so basically Pyrite here is going to send you to Oblivion to collect their souls and bring them back to this plane of existence so they can move again. So once you gather the last soul, the Oblivion gate will open to let you out. You just have to make your way back to it and then leave. Right now you can see all the followers are moving again, so we can no longer use them for beating on. They're no longer invincible and all that. We can still probably kill them if we wanted, but yeah. And then as a reward for this mission, we get the Spellbreaker. Effects is Reflect Spell on Self. Now, of course, I'm a light armor user, so my stats here, the 7 armor, it is probably not accurate. It'd probably give you more if you were a heavy armor user. All right, but where is the Pyrite Shrine? So let's pull up the map. It's pretty simple. It's along this river here, right? Just east of Breville, and I mean, you can see it's north of Leowin, but Breville is probably closer. You can just swim across and go up this river, and you'll run right into it. All right, so this god, Malakath, the shrine is located just north of Anvil, right, at Malakath's shrine, and he requires troll fat. All right, so if you go all the way upstairs in the Mages Guild in Skingrad, there will be this display case sitting here. Right, it shows it's a hard lock. If you have the skeleton key, you can just do that until you can just hit it until you open it. Right, and there's the trophat that we need, and it's not even stealing if you're part of the Mages Guild. You're allowed to take this. So there's no crime being committed here. Alright, then after a conversation with him, you'll be sent to Lord Drad's estate. Alright, so if you messed up while talking to Lord Drad, and he doesn't tell you about the ogres, if you can get his wife to like you, she will tell you where the ogres are. And they'll tell you about the bleak mines, where they're keeping them, basically, and we gotta go free them. Now, the problem is, if the guards see them leaving, they will probably fight them. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter if they live or not, but let's see what happens. See if they can beat the guards.
What's that?
Yeah, the unarmed ogres would definitely, if they hadn't been distracting the guards a little bit, they probably would have lost. Most of them, as you can see, 2 of them are dead, and this one just about died. So, definitely want to take out the guards before you free the ogres, if you're, like, trying to actually free the ogres. If you're just in here to get the quest and move on, then you don't have to worry about fighting the guards, because whether the ogres survive or not doesn't matter, I don't believe. Alright, once you free the ogre slaves, you can kind of come check out what's going to happen at the estate. We won't spoil anything here. Once the quest is completed, we're rewarded with the warhammer called Volendrung. It paralyzes on strike and drains health on strike. Alright, so as you can see, it's a cool looking warhammer, and we go smack somebody with it. It only has so many charges. Again, you have to recharge magical weapons. It's part of the game, right? So look, we paralyzed him and drained his health. Now he falls down, unless he can get back up and want to fight, but yeah. So we can constantly paralyze him. So this weapon could get you out of some trouble. So you're surrounded by somebody you can't beat. You can you smack all of them, paralyze them all, and run for it. They don't seem to care that I'm killing this guy here. Alright. So the next shrine we're going to go to is Meridia's Shrine. It's just west of Skingrad. I believe the requirement is level 10 or higher. You need to bring some kind of undead offering. Ectoplasma, bone meal, mort flesh, something like that. Right, then we just talk to the shrine and offer bone meal, or do nothing because we have bone meal on us, so we'll offer some bone meal. Yeah, and now Meridia is basically giving us a mission to go kill necromancers in they're hidden in the back of a cave. So now we just got to go find that cave. Okay, so once you get the mission to kill the cursed necromancers, you need to go to the Howling Cave, which is just to the east of Skingrad. It's a quick little run over. All right, so once you kill the necromancers for this god, they give you a ring. The Ring of Khajiiti. It gives us Cameleon on self and fortifies speed on self. Alright, so we can run a little faster and we can sneak a little better. Now we're moving up to the level 15 shrines. Alright, so you need to be level 15 minimum to do these quests. The shrine we are at now is going to be Mephala Shrine. I'm terrible at pronouncing names in this game. Just a heads up if you couldn't tell already. Alright, but Mephala here is located just north of the Imperial City. Alright, just right here, right underneath the A in this, in the Heartlands here. Right, so Mephala's going to ask you for a nightshade. Alright, you can find nightshades laying around. They're alchemical ingredients. And if you haven't found one, you can always go to an alchemy shop and buy one. Right, different alchemy shops will carry different ones. The ones in the Imperial City usually has nightshade, though. Until you've bought it, of course, then they're out of stock for a while. Alright, do we wish to offer nightshade? Yes. Alright, another thing you need to know about this quest is that you have to be here between midnight and like 6 a.m., somewhere in there. Alright, so they want us to travel to this town here, Bleaker's Way. It's just to the west of the shrine. Right, but we're not left with a whole lot of information to go on. We just know we need to kill the leaders of the two families. Alright, so we're going to need to talk to people within the city to find out who the leaders of the two families are. Alright, so in order to set them up killing each other, we have to go into each of their houses and find something that we can use. Alright, we can't just take something off their body after killing them. We have to have it in our inventory before we kill them to make the quest work properly. Even though their bodies shouldn't be discovered until, but it's an old video game, so the kind of logic doesn't necessarily apply. So we have to go in their houses and see if we can find something with their name on it. So in Delavu's house, or however you say his name, the mage's house, Right, if you once you walk inside to the right on a table here, so that's a dagger with this name on it, right? A Dalavilu ceremonial dagger. So we'll take that, and the quest will be updated. And now we'll go over to the other house, and we'll go in and steal an item from here. All right, so when you come inside, we'll turn left, go up the stairs, you'll turn right and go through this doorway here. And on your left side, in front of this book called like Guide to Leowin, is a ring. It's very hard to see. Right, it's Ulfgar family ring. So we'll steal that. Alright, and now we'll head back outside since we're trespassing. It doesn't say we're trespassing. I probably could wait in here, but just to be safe, we'll just come over here and hunker down and wait for night. This is just to be safe, right? If you kill them and you're not caught or seen doing it, then you just place the item on them no matter what time of day it is. But it's easier to do it at night while they're in their houses. Kinda knows I'm here and kinda doesn't. Whack! And now we gotta leave the dagger on him. It just seems like super obvious, like who would fall for this, but alright, especially how would they have killed each other, but hey, whatever, it's the job we were sent to do. Right, and for our troubles, we were given the Ebony Blade. It does silence on strike and absorb health on strike, so it'd be really good to use against mages. Right, so you can kind of see the Ebony Blade here. It's a pretty cool looking, it's a katana, so you know, it's always kind of cool. But as far as these, what are these called? Yeah, anyway. As far as these god relics go that you're getting, the special effects seem to stay the same no matter what level you are. I did run a test, a 10 level test to see the difference between 10 levels, and there wasn't any difference. So I imagine these are just what they are when you get them, and eventually you'll outscale them. But at level 15, this would not be a bad weapon to have. All right, on our way to the next god shrine, we need to travel north from Breville. So we'll show you here, Breville. You travel north along this road, and we'll be going up into this area here, and we'll show you when we get there. But this god requires a bear pelt or a wolf pelt. So in transit, you'll most likely run into a bear or a wolf on your way from Breville. So no big deal there. But if you want to be extra secure and you some reason don't have one of those pelts, you can always pick one up from a store. Right, the store should have them. Right, just north of the Arcane Grove where you can get a unicorn. And we just give them a pelt. We'll offer a bear pelt since we got one on the way. Okay, and so, funny enough, her kind is going to send us to kill the unicorn, which I just made a guide over, and the unicorn died during the guide. So yeah, he's going to send you to Arcane Grove to kill the unicorn, I guess if you don't already have it as a mount, and bring him back the horn. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Simple quest, and then we'll bring back the horn.
Yes, Hunter.
Right, so in exchange for the unicorn horn, we are given a new piece of light armor called Savior's Hide. It resists magic on self for 25%. So that's a constant effect. Not sure about the way it looks. It's kind of funny looking. I definitely like the mithril and glass armor and all that better, but being a level 17 quest, yeah, if I didn't mention you have to be level 17 to do this quest, it's probably not a bad piece of gear. For this next god, we're going to need a Daedra cart, and if you've been opening Oblivion gates, you probably have some laying around, or you've sold some. Hopefully you have some stashed in your house. But anyway, if you don't have them, for whatever reason you haven't opened Oblivion gates, or you just don't have them, the main ingredient in the Imperial City, we should have it. Other alchemical shopkeepers may have it as well. You just may need to look around. Again, we want to boost the personality as much as possible, so he offers us all his goods. And there you go. He has 2 Daedra hearts, so we can pick them up off of him pretty easy. And now for the long run in the middle of nowhere. Alright, so now that we have the Daedra's heart, we can head up to Bothea's shrine. I think that's how you say the name. You know, I'm terrible with the name. And give it the heart. I'll offer the Daedra heart, yes. Alright, and so this is a really long run out to him, but yeah, Bothea's shrine is here. Way in the east of Morrowind. So if you remember, this is a Vermi shrine and Pyrite shrine. right? Just north of Pyrites and east and south of Vermes, up in the mountains. You got to climb the mountains and go up a tiny trail to get up here. So it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, once you give him the heart, he's going to tell you, he's going to send you into the Oblivion world, where he's going to put you through a tournament that you have to survive. So make sure you're ready for that, and then go. And then, so once you're ready for that, you can just step through the portal. Alright, so as I travel here fighting the 10, I'm finding some fun, powerful magical items on these characters. That may be because of my level. I know the end reward won't be based off my level, but some of the loot we're getting in here, I believe is, I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty certain it's 68 potions of healing. Why does he have so many potions of healing on him? That's too much weight to carry, but okay. I'm not going to be able to carry all this out of here. It weighs too much, but show you some things. So we got a Claymore Disintegration weapon on strike for 80 points. Alright, we got the Bow of Storms. It does shock damage on strike and does 25 damage versus as well on top of that as well, because it's the Daedra bow. Greater Staff of Storms, 35 points of shock damage on target from range, so that's good. Staff of Withering, we see we can drain all their stuff. And also got a Crystalline Carasis, which gives me Cameleon on self 30%, which is really cool. Alright, once you've won, don't do like me and follow the quest marker and try and leave, because it's just taking you back to the shrine. Instead, look for this gate. It doesn't stand out very well, so... But if you look toward the statue, you'll see the gate, and then you'll be able to get out. Alright, and for completing this quest, we get a katana called Goldbrand, and it gives us fire damage on strike for 22 points. On top of that, it looks pretty cool, right? So we get 22 extra points of fire damage on somebody, on top of the 24 damage it already deals. So this is actually a pretty powerful weapon. Now keep in mind, if I didn't say it, you have to be level 20 to start this quest. So, yeah. But still a decent weapon even for a level 20. Alright, the next god requires us to be level 17, and this is Molag. And the location is right here in the middle of the map. So, west of the Imperial City, south of Corel, and north of Skingrad, up here in these mountains. If you, the T here, you go straight off from the top of the T, you'll run right into it. Molag does require a lion pelt. And once you hit level 12, and of course we're past level 12, we can do this quest, right? There are mountain lions everywhere. So a place kind of nearby is this Arcane Grove near Harkon Shrine. There are mountain lions all right up in here. I've run into 4 right here in just this small little area. So yeah, if you're needing some and you can't find them, you can definitely get some here, especially if you have a fast travel point nearby. All right, so you can see I'm over here. And sure enough, there is a mountain lion. Take him down and get the lion pelt. So you look at him, it's just called a lion pelt on the mountain lion, and head back to the shrine. Alright, so it gives you a quest, and the quest marker will take you to Brindleholm. Alright, so you just run basically southwest of this location. Alright, so when you get here, we're looking for meticulously. It'll take you just kind of to the middle of this complex, and then you have to start asking questions, right?
Greetings to you. Yes?
We ask him,
I know
Melus.
of him, but I don't figure I need to tell you about.
He doesn't like me, so he won't tell me the information, so we can make him like me, or we can keep asking other people. Alright, so if you can get I think it's somewhere between 70 and 80 on their personality, then we can go ahead and tell you where he's at. And then you can go find him. It's just a small house here, like really nearby. Right? And every day he visits the grave that's nearby as well. And if it's during the day, he'll come over to this gravestone here. As you can see, there's this little house. There's this gravestone, really within eyesight, so you should be able to find them pretty easy. Alright, so around 11 in the afternoon, he'll go over to the gravesite. If you were using rest and you're outside, he may not appear here, even though his quest marker will appear here. If that does happen, just go into his house and come back out, and it'll reload him here. And then you can have a conversation with him. Alright, so this quest can be a little tricky. Not a whole lot of it's explained. Right? How do you give somebody a weapon and all this stuff? We can't pick his pocket and put it in his inventory. And no matter how much we get him to like us, he won't talk to us. So what you have to do, right, is drop the mace nearby. And then you have to hit him, but he has low health, so be careful about hitting him. Alright, so you might want to punch him if you haven't built up your fist. And you want to make him mad so that he for attacking him in front of the grave. If you don't do this at the gravesite, it won't work. It may not work. Drop the mace, and we'll unequip our armor to make this easier. Once the armor doesn't take damage too, so he can kill us faster. We can even up the difficulty if we wanted, so that he can hit harder and kill us even faster. Okay, so the mace is nearby. We make sure we have nothing equipped. I'll unequip that so I can punch him, although my fists are built up a little bit. I gotta be careful here.
I have sworn not to raise a weapon in anger, but you have offended my honor in this most holy place. Prepare to die, devil.
Oh yeah? Yep, he picks up the mace. There we go. That's what we needed. So you may want to take some motions of harm or something to go ahead and hurt yourself. Make this a little faster, up the difficulty, or whatever you need to do. The higher... See, look, I almost killed him in one punch. So, if I'd gone put the difficulty all the way up, I would have less chance of killing him, and he would be able to kill me much faster. Just keep that in mind. Alright, then right before you die, you're whisked away and given a reward. And so we get the Mace of Molag Ball for this quest. And as you can see here, it does absorb strength on strike and absorb magic on strike. So we can drain our opponent's strength and magic. So it's really nice. And we keep in mind, of course, it's a magical weapon, so it only has so many charges. So as we drain their magic and their strength, they will be able to hurt us less and be able to cast less spells. So really not a very powerful weapon, considering you gotta be level 17 to get it. But still an interesting quest, and you can say you got another artifact of a god. Right, the next god on our list is Clavicas Vile, and this guy, just a classic god. He wants gold, and lots of it. So you're going to need to bring 500 gold with you. And even though I don't have any chameleon equipment on, and I don't have a chameleon in my effects, I have a visual glitch that seems to be permanent. So now I'm always a chameleon, so this is going well. Anyway, we'll offer him 500 gold. Right, and so this god will send you on a hunt quest for a sword, and you gotta go, and we'll have to go start in one place, ask questions, and then continue moving on from there. So this god is located near the Imperial City, just south of the Imperial City once you come out the west gate. Right, it's right here. You can see where the road does this U. It's right on the top of that U, and then we have to travel east from here to get to Fel's Gate for the first quest. Alright, so this is pretty much a straightforward quest. Nothing trip you up. You gotta make people like you, talk to them, and then you travel through a dungeon. Just be aware that it does have traps. Alright, we're gonna see if we can talk to him. I imagine this is supposed to be an enemy that we just fight, since we're in a dungeon. But, you know, I'll do the test for you, just so you know. Walk up and,
Get out of here while you can.
oh, we can talk to Umbra, so there we go.
You risk much.
Right, now that we have a sword, we have a choice to make. We give it back to him and get a helmet, or we keep the sword. So, let's see what the sword is. Let's see. So, Umbra here affects Soul Trap on Strike. So, when we hit somebody, we have 120 seconds to kill them and put their soul in a soul gem. It does 29 damage. Alright, so it's not as good as Goldbrand as far as damage goes. But, the Soul Trap is nice, but again, it's a magical weapon, so it has charges as well. So we'll have to. So some of the souls it traps, we'll have to use to repower it, right? Boom. So we got that soul if we had any soul gems on us, and it is just a longsword. So the choice is yours. We can give it back to him, or we can keep the sword. Soul traps are pretty easy spell to use during combat, so I'm not too worried about keeping the sword. So I'm going to turn it in and show you what the other reward you can get is for turning the sword in. Alright, and so we get the Masque of Clavicas Vile, and what it does here, we equip it, we can't really see it, but it fortifies our personality by 20 points, makes people like us more. And so if you're not leveling up personality, this might be good. Wish I would look like on my character, but I'm glitched, so yeah, good times. All right, but now that this is done, we can do the final Daedric quest and get the last item for all you collectors out there. And once you completed all the other Daedric artifact quests for the shrines, right, to talk to the gods, this is the final god. Final god, and he's located way up here in the north. So Hermaeus Moria's shrine, just to the west of Ruma. Get my directions right here. To get to it, though, you got to kind of travel north from Coral. I mean, you can probably come from over here, too. The easiest way I found was to run up through here, and there will be, once you get up here, there will be a path lit by fire, and you can follow the path around and cut across the top of the mountains, and you're on top of the mountain to get up here, so it takes a long, long run. Alright. But unless you're far enough in the main story, which I think is something called the Blood of the Daedra, is the quest you need to have been on or completed to get Hermaeus to actually talk to you. So once you get Hermaeus to talk to you, you'll get a quest that will ask you to go kill a bunch of people. It's going to give you a spell that lets you soul trap, right? Use this and soul trap them and then kill them. And you have to do this for one of every race in the game. Alright? So it doesn't matter where you find the races at. Alright, so you go kill a khajiiti. You can kill this one right here. Although I don't know if I would kill the the races that are right in front of this shrine. But you can go to the other shrines if you want. You can also go and find bandits and necromancers and things like that of every race. Soul trap them, kill them. That way, you don't. If you're a good person, you don't have to commit an evil act because you're killing people you would already kill anyway as a good person. So that's how you do this one. And what you'll get is this really awesome book that basically will up a bunch of skills depending on which choice you make once you read the book. Essentially, this is just a boost to your skills. At this point in the game, you probably already got most of your main skills to 100 anyway. Right, and that's all the Daedric artifacts you get from completing tasks for the gods. There is one more Daedric artifact added by DLC. We'll be making a guide over that in the near future, so make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications to get that. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.